Hot and humid is the name of the game as we head into this weekend and into next week, but we also have at least some chance for storms as we continue into the weekend in the never-ending pattern of April pretending to be June, or June pretending to be April, one of the two. It's been a long night, okay? Let's talk about it in today's edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. All right, good morning. It is Friday, the 16th of June, 2023. After a very long Thursday afternoon into Friday morning, we are finally starting to calm down in the thunderstorm department. Hopefully, that means most of today will end up featuring not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity because I'm personally tired of the baseball to softball size hail, not to mention the winds and all that. Just enough already. If it's going to be summer, just let it be summer and let's move on from this whole, 100-mile-an-hour wind, softball size hail flying nonsense. As we head into today, tomorrow, the weekend, next week, it's going to be hot. It's going to be quite hot, very humid, which is going to result in abhorrently horrific heat index values up to 120 degrees across portions of Texas, and high temperatures themselves. We could be looking at 105 to 112 in some parts of the state. Let's talk about it. Hey, you know what'd be nice? If the button I pressed to make the temperature graphics pop up would work. I guess we're just doing it the old-fashioned way. That's okay. Today's high temperatures across the northern half of Texas will be comparatively cooler than the southern half of Texas thanks to a bit of a frontal boundary that stalled out after yesterday's storms. It's still going to be warm across the state, but you know what? Southern half of Texas, it's going to be hotter than a hot dog. High temperatures ranging from near 100 to 102 all the way up to 112 degrees. Heat index values up to 120. It's going to be nasty hot. So we head into tomorrow. That frontal boundary kind of still there, but it's still going to be hot and humid on either side of the boundary. Another day of 90s to the north, 100s to 112 to the south. Sunday, that boundary starts to mix out and the triple digits start spreading north. Same thing on Monday, and Monday's just going to be nasty. You can see high temperatures well into the triple digits across a good portion of Texas. Some high temperatures up to 115 degrees in the Rio Grande Plains. Heat index values in some locations may exceed 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Not fun. Here's Tuesday. Okay, let's just bump it up to 124 at this point. And here's nothing because you get nothing more. But you get the point. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid thanks to all the rains over the last month. Soil moisture is high, and it's going to take a while for that soil moisture to start bleeding down and dumping these heat index values. But unfortunately, when it's hotter than a hot dog, it's going to be hot and humid. It is not going to be pleasant. Not happy about it. But I'm also not happy about having to stay up and do 15 hours of severe weather coverage like every day this week. So, you know what? If it's going to be hot, it's going to be hot. But at least let's be done with the storms. Which we're not, because we still have the potential for at least a little bit of stormy mischief over the next few days. Today may end up being the calmest day we've seen recently, with only isolated severe storms possible in the northeastern Texas panhandle and along that stalled boundary from essentially the northern Brazos Valley into central Texas back into northeast Texas, the Ark-La-Tex. A few storms are probably going to pop up between about 4 to 5 p.m. this afternoon, die out hopefully by mid-evening. Given the fact it's going to be so warm and unstable, any storm that pops up could produce golf ball to tennis ball size hail, maybe some wind 60 to 70 miles an hour. The tornado threat today is very, very low. Really not expected, but I'm not going to say zero because Mother Nature will take that as a challenge. So we head into tomorrow. This is going to be more of an active day, it looks like. This potentially could end up getting upgraded again, kind of like how yesterday did after starting out at pretty much the same risk level. At least scattered severe storms possible east of the dry line across the Panhandle into West Texas, south into the eastern Permian Basin, Concho Valley. Initial storms, large hail up to the size of tennis balls. It may be a bit bigger than that. Localized damaging winds 60 to 70 miles an hour. Very low to maybe a low threat for a couple of brief tornadoes. So we head into tomorrow evening. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We see a cluster or a couple clusters of storms organized in the Concho Valley, Big Country, western Oklahoma. And if that happens, those would probably push into portions of North Texas, Texoma, East Texas and Northeast Texas, necessitating an uptick in these severe weather probabilities. So don't be surprised if this ends up turning into more of a busy day than this graphic would necessarily indicate. We'll keep an eye on it, but again, we may be busy on Saturday, just hopefully without the 100-mile-an-hour winds and softballs everywhere. But given the last week, who knows? And then here is Sunday, the potential for at least isolated, maybe scattered severe storms across the Ark-La-Tex, eastern North Texas, south in the piney woods of East Texas. It looks like we're still going to have plenty of instability, at least some wind shear loft. So if we do end up having storms fire, they could be supercellular with the threat of very large hail, localized damaging winds, and a tornado not out of the realm of possibility. But we're just going to have to literally wait and see once we get a bit closer, since we've been having to do this whole thing day by day. But again, looks like at least some chance for severe weather this weekend continuing, in addition to the annoyingly hot temperatures as we head into Monday, Tuesday. Looks like mostly dry across the state. That's when we're going to be the hottest. We may end up seeing a chance for scattered severe storms return to the Panhandle and West Texas as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. We'll see. That'll be on the northwestern fringe of this heat dome that'll be across most of Texas. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But the abnormally unusual June weather continues. I mean, it's going to be hot. That's normal for June. It's going to be really hot, which, I mean, is unfortunately just what we do in the summer. This whole week of storms, dropping softballs to 6-inch diameter hail, 110 mile an hour winds and tornadoes. Not so usual for mid to late June, but what you're going to do, Mother Nature's going to do what Mother Nature's going to do. So we'll keep an eye on things today. And with all that being said, hopefully you don't have to see me doing any sort of severe weather coverage later today or tonight. I really hope not. I'm optimistic, but optimism hasn't played too well this week. Tomorrow could be a different story. We may be doing quite a bit of severe weather coverage again. Hopefully not, but there's a better chance tomorrow than today. And of course, typically meteorologist Jason Cooley handle Texas weather roundups on the weekends, or we just wouldn't have any. But given the active potential for weather videos will continue daily. So we'll have the next Texas weather roundup out by 7 to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. That is the Saturday, 17th. Otherwise, you can keep an eye on the sky with free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Get your local neighborhood forecast, weather warnings, interactive weather radars, storm chasing video, and live severe weather coverage. Otherwise, y'all have a great Friday. Try to have a good one. Keep your thoughts and prayers out for those who received damage from yesterday's storms. And let's see if we can get through this weekend without a repeat. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.